Welcome. My name is Rosa Rode and I'm one of the buyers for GiLDE, a sustainable denim brand that my team and I built from scratch within 10 weeks. We are also the winners of the 2020 Kingpins and Ravensbourne Denim Innovation Project. GiLDE is an Old English word that stands for a community who's fighting for the same goal. Community, heritage and sustainability are the key words this brand is based on. Give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. Teaching rather than giving provides a strong catalyst for change. As the world around us seems to be breaking apart, we want to build a guilt-free escape into a unique legacy created by us, continued by you. By creating one-off pieces through a transparent and sustainable process, we see it as our responsibility to give our consumers the best possible chance to do the same. We're teaching and giving them the skills to ensure their denim lasts generations, creating a community with sustainability and reusing at its heart. At the time of conceptualizing what GiLDE's mission and purpose was, we were experiencing divisions within our society. For example, Brexit, the riots in Hong Kong, and Extinction Rebellion in London. Sadly, this feeling of division is now more relevant than ever, with the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests around the world, and to physically having to separate from one another. However, within each of these examples there are people wanting to prove themselves and who are becoming aware of their effect. The Black Lives Matter protest forced us to look at the uncomfortable reality of our society and how we must change. Isolation has shown us how important community is. We saw these particular positive trends arising from this, and knew GiLDE would have to be based on a strong sense of community, transparency, and sustainability. And this is how we found our consumers, conscious affluence, and the story chasers. We based our production process on Sustainable Development Goals 10 and 12. 10. Reduce inequalities because we raise our voice against discrimination. And 12. Responsible consumption and production process because we do indeed use a responsible production process and recycle every material we use. We think sustainability should be accessible to everyone, so we created the GiLDE, which is a community outreach program. Here we teach the skills and knowledge our customers need to create a sustainable future and how to keep their garments in their families for generations. We supply equipment to learn how to fix the garment and a space for us to connect with our customers. The meetings won't be held by us, however, but we teach people from disadvantaged backgrounds like disabled people, former inmates or young offenders to lead the meetings and become a part of something good. Our production process starts with getting our salvage denim from Hewitt Heritage Fabrics. We chose our supplier because we share the same values, heritage and sustainability. As our manufacturer, we chose Fabric Works because they're just down the road from our office. Also, Fabric Works has a special enterprise where they take women, mainly from Bengali background, and teach them how to be seamstresses and end up giving them a job at the factory. As we have a social enterprise as well, it's clear that Fabric Works shares the same views surrounding community. GiLDE in our designs were first inspired by the working lads of the 1880s and the Whitechapel Institute, which provided disadvantaged young men with a sanctuary and an opportunity to learn a variety of life skills they needed to survive and to get a job. Inspired by them, we aim to revive this very life skill of hand sewing and mending our own garments rather than having to travel to a store. The sustainability aspect was a key focus and made us really think about what is sustainable and why. We were charmed by the idea of using both the high-quality salvage denim from Hewitt Heritage Fabrics and also upcycling of older fabric swatches to create a garment where old and new will eventually meet. Black Horse Lane Atelier Factory in London kindly donated fabric mill swatches and some of their offcuts. We pinpointed the lighter fabric mill swatches that were fully natural with no elastane and patched them into pocket bags for the garments and lining for the trousers. For the supporting garments, we made these linen smock shirts, giving the feeling of a very worn-out worker's shirt. The dirt you see, however, is actually dye. These smock shirts were cut and made in a 19th century way that leaves very minimal fabric waste, and they were then hand-dyed with natural sepia ink. The mordant used was potassium aluminium sulfate, which is a naturally occurring salt, and sepia ink is natural ink from cuttlefish. It is not vegan, but the ink is a byproduct from the food industry and processing of cuttlefish. Our garments are fully natural and every detail is considered. Handmade buttonholes, back buttons, and the top stitching and stitching being done entirely with the finer cotton top stitching thread rather than the commonly used polyester thread. With every garment comes a care package that includes small offcut swatches from the production of the garment, as well as a thread and a needle. The care package also includes instructions on our initial research on how to mend broken fabric by hand, something that we researched carefully at the vintage showroom through authentic vintage denim workwear. In case anything happens to the garment, we encourage that our consumers repair it by hand. By doing this, we can lengthen the lifespan of the garment. Thank you so much for listening. There is so much more to GiLDE than this presentation though, and we would have loved to meet you all in person and talk about our brand and the current sustainability issue. However, obviously that is not possible at the moment. So if you do have any questions, thoughts or advice, we really appreciate if you would contact us, and we have linked our LinkedIn profiles below. Thank you so much and stay safe.